In January of 2020, I bought my first cinema camera, and it was an FS5 Mark II. I know it's not the most extravagant cinema camera, but it got me in there. And there's 4 main reasons as to why I bought it. First, it had 10-bit color coming right out of the camera. It also had slow motion frame rates, which I wanted to use, XLR inputs, and internal ND. And the one bonus feature is the fact that it looked more professional on set, having a larger camera rather than something like a mirrorless camera, but that's more of a fugaze on the side of what the client sees, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I worked with that camera for a while, making product videos using the slow motion, doing some run and gun production with that internal ND, and simply growing my skills in color grading with it. And not too long after that, this sexy beast came out, the A7S Mark III. And it had so much going for it. 4K 120, 10-bit color, new image stabilization, dual base ISO, and so much more. And I pre-ordered it the day it was announced because it had the features that I was looking for. But why didn't I wait for an FX6 or get another type of cinema camera? Why did I go back down to that mirrorless level? And there's a few reasons. Number one, I didn't really need it yet. I did get it just for the features, and now most of those features were available in the A7S III. And second, having a small form factor is really important to me. I think more than I thought. I learned that it's really important to know what's important to us when it comes to cameras and equipment, and that small form factor was something that stood out. I wanted to keep that capability of being able to pack something away super easily and then be able to hang a camera around my neck and be able to shoot incredible quality and kind of blending in with my surroundings rather than holding on to a cinema camera in the middle of public and just getting all this attention. You get so much less when it's just a smaller camera. And on top of that, as a husband and at some point I'll be a dad, I want to shoot photos and videos of my kids and all the things that we do as a couple right now, and I want to be able to capture those things without having to haul around a cinema camera. I know our phones are getting better and better, but for now, I definitely want to keep up with this smaller form factor in a professional camera. But this A7S III didn't hit on everything I needed. What was I missing out on? And what am I still missing out on? The internal ND. Still wish I had that. The XLR input was fantastic to have. And without a cage and all these other accessories, I don't look as professional when I come in with a mirrorless camera. And with that come a lot of other miscellaneous cinema camera things, such as the availability of the buttons and things like that when they're right on the side of the camera as opposed to going into the menus. But I really didn't feel like I was missing out on that much in the end. This little camera produces a fantastic image and still does today, even though we're almost 3 years into it. Doing some side-by-side comparisons for when I first bought this, I was thoroughly impressed, and that's what made me commit to selling that cinema camera rather than my previous mirrorless. And that's when the FX3 came out. And I was kind of pissed at that because I would have bought that in the first place if not for the A7S III coming out first because of these added features that the FX3 had. And it does eliminate the need for that XLR input because now the FX3 has it. So now I have both and I'm pretty happy. But what does this mean for you? It's crucial that we know our needs from our camera and equipment. So find out what's important, and that'll help narrow things down as you select your next piece of equipment or camera or whatever it may be. If you don't know that answer yet, continue to shoot more, create more, and do so on different cameras and equipment so you understand what is great to have and what sucks not to have. Does this mean cinema cameras are a waste? Absolutely not. Like, I still look for cinema cameras probably every other day, just kind of checking out their prices and their features and seeing where they're at because they interest me a lot and I do want another one someday. But right now where I'm at, I can get by so far with using this cinema camera of an FX3 and my A7S III as well. And these two cameras have been such an impactful combo that I don't see why I'm ever gonna get away from this here. Not necessarily this camera, but having something in this form factor is very important to me. So what are your thoughts? Did I make a mistake in selling my cinema camera? Or did I make the right move in doing that and buying the A7S III and now the FX3 to make up for it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you have any. I'd love to also hear if you had any thoughts on, hey, the cinema camera is far more valuable because of X, Y, and Z. Or the mirrorless are far more valuable because of X, Y, and Z. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.